Hi there, Doug Stimman with IT Creations with the Dell PowerEdge C6520 server node. This is a dual socket 1U half-width server node designed to be used with the 2U Dell PowerEdge C6400 chassis. Up to 4 6520 server nodes can be installed in the chassis for up to 8 CPUs in a 2U form factor. The server nodes can be used completely independently or as a small cluster. Each of the 4 server nodes supports dual 3rd generation Intel Xeon Scalable CPUs for some serious performance. Hit that subscribe button if you would like to see more server and workstation reviews, or maybe a thumbs up if you find this video useful. Let's get to it. This cloud server is designed to provide massive compute at scale for high-performance workloads like web tech, research, and digital manufacturing. With exceptional density and a 2U form factor, it's also an ideal addition to the data center. However, I can't present the C6520 server node without first taking a look at the Dell PowerEdge C6400 Chassis, which provides the support for the server sleds that can be hosted in its 2U enclosure. The C6400 chassis provides the upfront storage, cooling, and power, while the supported server sleds deliver compute and memory. Drive bay options for the C6400 chassis include LFF or SFF storage options. The 3.5-inch chassis has 12 front SAS/SATA drive bays with 3 drive bays assigned per node. One of the 2.5-inch bay versions includes 24 drive bays supporting SAS or SATA with an option for 16 SAS/SATA and 8 NVMe drives. In that case, each sled has 2 universal drive slots which can accept SAS, SATA, or NVMe, with the other 4 SAS, SATA only. The latest 2.5-inch chassis from Dell supports a full NVMe backplane with no support for SAS or SATA drive types. The all NVMe option is for use with hot data cache tiering, supporting higher IOPS. In each case, drive bays are distributed equally among the C6520 server nodes. The no backplane option offers exceptional thermals given no drive bays to block airflow and is designed for high-performance computing, high-frequency trading, software as a service, and use as a Hadoop data node with external HDFS storage. Are you interested in the Dell PowerEdge C6400 chassis with the Dell PowerEdge C6520 server node? Because if you are, for a limited time, you can save up to $500 off a system that you can configure or one that's listed at IT Creations at $5,000 or more. Just click that link to see more information, and when you're ready to make a purchase, just mention this video. Simple. I'm specifically targeting the C6520 chassis server sled, but there are a few other server sleds compatible with the C6400 chassis. That said, there is no mixing and matching. You can only install one server node model in the 4 slots in the back. The PowerEdge C6420 server sled, on the other hand, is for big data, web-scale applications, and software as a service, or SaaS, with support for dual 2nd generation Intel Xeon Scalable processors and up to 3 terabytes of memory per node. Designed for high-performance computing, plus hyperconverged infrastructures, manufacturing, and research, is the AMD EPYC-based Dell PowerEdge C6525 server sled. That one is compatible with dual 2nd generation AMD EPYC CPUs with up to 64 cores each and a memory complement of up to 2 terabytes per node. With a C6525, you can assign all drives to a single node or divvy them up between the 4 server nodes. With the C6420, each server node is assigned an equal portion of the upfront drive bays. The front panel on the C6400 chassis features one of the drive bay configurations I just mentioned and has a control panel on each server ear. The left control panel for server sleds 1 and 2, and the right is for server sleds 3 and 4. Each control panel has a power on button with system state indicator LED and a system identification button to locate the particular server sled in the enclosure from the back. On the back of the chassis, dual redundant power supplies are in the center with options for 1600 watts, 2000 watts, 2400 watts, or 2600 watts AC. Each server node is accessible from the back of the chassis and has a super speed USB 3.0 port, 1 gigabit Ethernet RJ45 port for system management or connecting to the network, mini display port to connect your laptop or monitor, a micro AB USB port for remote access iDRAC Direct with the identification LED light just above. An OCP 3.0 Gen 4x16 mezzanine card slot provides additional options for network communications and port configurations. Lastly, 2 Gen 4x16 PCI slots above. Inside the C6400 case, you can see the NVMe backplane for the hard drives, which will support both Gen 4 and Gen 3 NVMe drives. However, Dell recommends installing 4th Gen NVMe drives in all slots or only 8 Gen 3 drives, as the Gen 4 NVMe drives offer twice the bandwidth compared to Gen 3. That being the case, it seems like you're better off just going with a 24-bay SAS/SATA system with 8 universal SAS/SATA NVMe bays if you plan on going with Gen 3 NVMe drives. Behind the front drive cage and expander board, if you don't have the no backplane version that is. A few fans and fan cages provide cooling for the 1U half-width server nodes and mid-plane board connecting the server nodes to the chassis management board. Linking boards to either side connected to the front drive bays, which in turn connect 6 of the up-front drive bays to 2 of the server nodes each. A chassis management board connects to power and the individual server nodes through a power connector at the end of each server node. Our PowerEdge C6400 chassis features the 24-bay option with NVMe backplane, and there are 2 slim SAS connectors per chassis in the linking board where it connects to the chassis and 2 on the motherboard. Storage controllers supported on this system include the entry-level integrated S150 software RAID controller for SATA and NVMe drive options. Other storage controllers for one of the PCI slots include a few value and performance options offering various RAID levels and cache depending on your choice. You will need a PERC controller if installing SAS drives. The OCP 3.0 Gen 4x16 mezzanine card slot and 2 Gen 4x16 PCI slots give you options for expansion. A dedicated slot on the system board adjacent to Processor 2 is for a low-profile modular M.2 SATA BOSS card that can support either 1 or 2 drives in a hardware RAID for redundancy. That will save your upfront storage. There is also the option to install an NVMe M.2 card in the low-profile slot for write cache. The system uses iDRAC with lifecycle controller, and you can see a short video we put together showing some of the functionality of iDRAC 9.0 Enterprise here. Also, OpenManage for management of multiple servers. VMware is an option, and those can also help with installing the operating system. There are 2 low-profile half-length risers possible with 4 different options. Risers with PCI 4.0x16 slots for both, which is supported on all chassis configurations. The 8-pay 2.5-inch and the no backplane version support optional dual PCI 4.0x8 slots with a single x16 riser, or just a single riser with 2 x8 slots. These can be used for host bus adapters, PERC RAID cards, network interface controller cards offering up to 100 gigabit Ethernet, and as mentioned, an SSD for optional performance storage. Also supported is a single GPU, FPGA or PAC, not to exceed 75 watts of juice. GPUs include the NVIDIA T4 16GB or the Ampere-based NVIDIA A2 low-profile card in riser 1 or 2, depending on the riser configuration. 3rd generation Intel Xeon Scalable processors with up to 40 cores each are supported on the system, depending on the configuration. CPUs can have a maximum TDP or thermal design power rating of up to 270 watts. The standard configuration sled supports a low-profile air-cooled heatsink, but there is also the option for direct contact liquid cooling, or DCLC, like on this platform. Maximum memory supported in the 16 DDR4 DIMM slots is up to 1 terabyte using registered ECC DIMMs, or up to 2 terabytes with load-reduced DIMM modules installed. Memory speeds will be dependent on the CPU and the speed of the memory modules. Persistent memory modules are not supported. For dense compute in a 2U chassis, the Dell PowerEdge C6400 chassis paired with the Dell PowerEdge C6520 server sled is a winning combination. Up to 8 40-core processors, up to 8 terabytes of memory system-wide, all NVMe drives or no drives, or a combination of SAS, SATA, and NVMe all provide options to support a number of diverse workloads. Almost forgot to mention an optional accelerator in each sled too. If you are interested in this system or something like it, check out itcreations.com. I placed some links below for your information, or you can click that link right there. Consider subscribing to our channel, as there are always more servers and workstations being reviewed. Until next time, I'm Doug Stuman with IT Creations, and thanks for watching.